Hello everybody, today is the 11th of May and we've just had the announcements from our government that we're going to go and lock down to level 2 on Thursday, which is way overdue in my opinion, and we should have been there a week or so ago at least. In actual fact, I don't think we should have shut down at all, to be fair. But anyway, we're going to go to lockdown 2, which is good. So businesses are going to go back to try and some kind of work, some kind of normality, which is not going to be easy. Everybody's got to change a little bit. And of course, a lot of people are going to be still stuck at home, not wanting to come out. And so what's going to be really interesting, we're going to get a little bit of a rush, I think, initially, where people just are fed up of being at home and they want to go out and experience some food and some coffee and maybe some free time to do stuff, all that kind of stuff that they've been missing for the last 6 to 7, 8 weeks. So we're going to get a rush, but then I think we're going to get a slowdown. So, and of course, the other thing too is that all these businesses, when they start up again, we have to do extra stuff now to comply with the government requirements. And not only that, do we have to do extra stuff, which is extra costs, we also can't have as many people in our business as we would normally do. So that's just made all businesses a lot more inefficient than where we were 2 months ago. And so if businesses were just struggling by 2 months ago when things were going so-called perfectly, I mean, how the hell are they going to survive now? It's really, I'm quite worried for everybody, to be honest. I think that a lot of people still think that somehow we're just going to go back to where we were. It ain't going to happen. You can look around the world now, and there's what is it in the UK? I think the other day just came out that they had obviously the smallest number of car sales in April, because everyone's been locked up since World War II, gone from like 120,000 down to like 3,000. So I mean, it's just a massive. And of course, where do all those cars go? Because they were planned to be sold, and they've been parked up in airports and everything else, just nowhere to go. So therefore the car manufacturers have to stop, because there's all these cars that haven't been sold yet, and that's all around the world. So you've got all this stuff just piling up. You've got food places closing down because they can't sell their food because they make so much for restaurants and all these other markets. You've got farmers not replanting. So you know the downside effect of all this kind of stuff, we haven't seen any of it yet. And I believe that we're going to see it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Unfortunately, I mean, God, I hope I'm wrong, but I just think, you know, I can't see how it cannot. And of course, the other thing to remember is that the world economy was not that good in February. It was, you know, everybody's going how, you know, everything looked great, but in actual fact, it wasn't. If it wasn't for the fact that we had really cheap money, cheapest in history, basically, most people wouldn't have survived. So now we've had this pandemic come through, and we're supposed to, you know, just shut our businesses for 3 months or 2 months or whatever it is, and then get going again. And so I just really fear that you're going to see a lot of businesses not reopen, and it's going to be devastating for a lot of people. Now we've got the wage subsidy at the moment, which is great, and that's going to last for 12 weeks. But when that finishes, there's going to be a lot of businesses, me included, are going to have a hard look at, you know, what you've got staff-wise and what your work have you got coming in, and adjust accordingly. And I think a lot of people at the moment who think their job might be safe might get a bit of a rude awakening in a month or so. So that's a shame, and we've been locked down for way too long. Listening to the Prime Minister today, it was very, you could tell that she just wasn't business orientated at all. She all talked about, you know, some mother who was concerned about her child because they had immune problems. What about the businesses that have gone bust and lost their whole life savings? I mean, it just seems to be so out of balance. It's unbelievable. But anyway, it's obviously we're all waiting to get back to work on Thursday, which is going to be great. We're going to, you know, get everybody moving, get some money going around the economy, which is good, and trying to normalise everything. Just be wary too. You're going to find, and I've certainly come across a few incidents already, where because this is such a stressful time for everybody, and some people don't even know that it's stressful for them, but in actual fact it is. And what happens is that you will see their personality change a little bit, or people might be snapping at you more quickly. I was standing at BP the other day getting a coffee, because I like getting my coffee from BP, and a lady came up to me, and she was I think looked like she was over 60 from what I could tell. She was wearing a mask, and so there was only 2 of us there. We're outside, and she almost came up to me and she said, "Where's my mask?" And I said, "Well, A, you don't have to have one, and B, no one wears them properly and they don't work anyway." And she just went off and going on about I shouldn't be out in public without a mask and this and that, and just rant and rave for like 2-3 minutes. And I'm going, oh my God. But I mean, she was just nervous and scared and everything else. And I felt like saying to her, God, if you're that worried about it all, you should be at home. You're only getting a coffee. But I didn't. I just bit my tongue and moved on. But so you're going to get a lot of that kind of stuff out there. You're going to get a lot of people snapping at you for, getting too close or cutting them off or road rage or all that kind of stuff. And it's just because they're stressful about their life and everything else. So we need to give people a bit of space and everything else, just to not get too anti about that. Obviously, you're going to find that also in the service industries. There's some people are going to snap there as well and be a bit more ruder maybe than we have seen in the past. So we have to be a little bit careful there as well. It's a good time to be really, I think, really supportive of your loved ones and of your partners. And again, you might not know, or you might not look like your partner's being stressed or having any problems, but people will have that without even knowing it. So be supportive, talk things over together, communicate, work out a plan, work out a financial plan. Please, whatever you do, do not bury your head in the sand and think this is all going to be fine and no problem, especially if you've got a job that's not secure in any way, which no job is, but some are definitely more secure than others, and or business. You need to get in early and make a plan how you're going to get through this so that you can come out the other side knowing what you do. And that'll make you sleep better at night. You've got a plan, you've got direction, and that's what we all need. So I've been through situations before where I've had a business partner always almost put my business bankrupt, and I had to claw my way out of that. And it was hard, really hard. But I just put my head down, worked hard, had a plan. And one of the things you can do, of course, is sell a lot of stuff that you're not using. So the amount of crap that we accumulate over our lifetime, or just because we just buy stuff that we're never going to use. So if you think that you might be short of money, or if you're not sure, this is the time to get rid of that kind of stuff. Get your house in order. So, and if you think you're going to have trouble with the mortgage payments or anything like that, go to the bank. Go early and get it all organised so that you can then be all right about it and you don't have to worry about it. So hopefully most of you will be all right in that situation. And I guess a lot of people, if you're listening to this anyway, then hopefully you've thought of that and gone through. Big thanks to all the subscribers. I mean, God, we get over 700 now, which is unbelievable. When I started doing this, I thought, boy, if I got like 20 or 50, I'd be really wrapped. But over 700, so that's amazing. So continue to share and to like. That'd be great. And subscribe. Also, just remember, if you're an old guy like me and all this kind of stuff, YouTube, internet, all that kind of stuff, is we weren't brought up with it. We had to learn it all. Just because you described as something doesn't mean you'll get a notification. You have to turn your notification on. And we're all guilty of not doing that. So subscribe and then go make sure your notification is turned on. Why that doesn't happen at once, I do not know. It's because intelligent people didn't design the computers, I guess. But think about that. So going back to work shortly, which is going to be great. There's again, I know that in Taupo here we've got a few businesses already that aren't opening, which is a real shame. I hope the rest of us can survive, move forward. It's going to be a different world out there because we've had obviously 2 months of no work. People are going to be different. Their moods are going to be different. Some people are not wanting to come out and spend money. And so we're going to have to all adapt a little bit to our businesses to that new environment. And hopefully we can all do that in a economic and profitable way, because it's all very well opening our business, but we have to make money every day. Otherwise, what are we doing here? So hopefully we can organise that and get that sorted nice and quickly. Been through a few drives and stuff, been going around and doing a bit of biking, and people are definitely out a lot more now than the ones that were like 2 weeks ago. There's certainly a lot more cars on the road. And saw my mum for Mother's Day, which was nice, and took her out for coffee. So that was nice. She hadn't been out for a long, long time, so that's really good. And so yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more families going to get together in the next week or so and say hello, which will be really great for the mind and everything else. So I just hope everybody has a great time getting back to work. Go back enthusiastically, make good jobs of it, make people spend money, get this money moving around the economy, but just be kind out there, because some people are going to be very stressed out and they're going to be like right on the edge of basically exploding. So just be wary of that, and if you've come across that, you'll know why. So don't, and if you're feeling a bit tense and a bit that way as well, just make sure you don't fight back. Just bite your tongue and try and help them out and make their day better, and maybe somebody else will do that to you as well. So until next time, thanks very much for watching, and enjoy your day. Bye bye.